Hi, my name is Dave. I write for Motels.com. I used to write for Allpar.com, which I started, I think, in 1994 or so. Maybe it was 93. Anyway, I've got some interesting Mopar stuff here for you, and I do mean Mopar. But first, I want to show you something from Ram, and this is a Ram. As you can see, my name is Ram, and the nice people at what was then Chrysler Group, I think, but they sent it to me in the hospital when I was having some bits and pieces taken out, and the prognosis was not very good, and it cheered me up quite a bit, and I wanted to say thank you again. So if you're watching, guys, I really did appreciate it. I still appreciate it, and I think of you whenever I see this Ram, which was today partly because I was taking out this lovely Mopar oil can. And you can see it says 2013 media information on it, and you might be wondering about that, especially when you look at the back and you see that it is, it definitely looks like an oil can, doesn't it? But it says here, where it would normally have the SAE logo, you've got your 2013 Mopar press information logo instead. So it's a very clever design, and basically you unscrew the cap. And you had to love Mopar press kits, and this time I mean all of the Chrysler press kits, because they really went over and beyond. They got really splashy. I already did a video on this snakeskin Return of the Viper, SRT Viper press kit from 2013. And of course they made some fun Mopar press kits really after other companies and even other divisions at what became Fiat Chrysler, it was still Chrysler Group at this point, had gone to just, here's a USB drive. Here's a generic USB drive. Hey, so let's see. So this can, it splits open. I want to make sure I'm doing it up. It's magnetic. And you see inside, it's not just some cheap USB thing. It's three things here. You've got the Mopar, let's see, is this a press book or a pad? Your Mopar pad. And then everybody needs a pen. Is this just a pen? Or is this something special? I'm guessing. Aha. You know, I really would have used this much more if I had realized before that it was an interchangeable bit screwdriver. And it keeps the bits over here. This looks like a slot 1, a slot 3, a slot 2, and a couple of little itty bitty Phillips heads. And those all go in through the top here. So this is just one of your little useful screwdrivers. I'm going to have to leave this thing out of the case so I can use it again. This one actually is a pen, I'm pretty sure. This little tiny little one. And aha, it is a pen, but it's a pen that can be very small or normally sized. And finally, your USB thumb drive containing all of the Mopar information in this nice chrome etched case. And you'll see on one side it's Mopar, on the other side it is www.mopar.com. And then let's see. Some people might do this better than I do it. Wouldn't be at all surprised. Aha. Here is your standard USB stick. That's one of the kits and a little Ram. And again, see, it comes together. Again, it comes together with a nice snap because it's held together magnetically, and to make sure you screw it on. Next up, spray can. 2016 media information. Open it up. Gear shift. For manual transmission. That was upside down. Let's see. It must be reverses on the right. So that tells you which transmission it is. And on the other side, your USB drive. So this one only has that, as far as I know. You know what? I've never taken this foam out. Find out. That, yes, that was all that's in it. And then finally, we have this can. Shows all of the Mopar logos. You can see that Mopar went through a long time when they were really, you know, this brand was born in 1937. Yes, I looked back in case I got the date wrong. I'm doing a book on Chrysler brand, and it goes back to 1924 because that's when Chryslers were first introduced and then made and then sold in January of 1924. And so I've got all these dates floating in my head now. But this is the original Mopar symbol, and it takes you through the years. It got much more modern in, which one was this? 1939. How's that? But then the one that we all know today is really from 1964. As are many fine things, like the Plymouth Barracuda, the Civil Rights Act, Doctor Who, I guess. I'm going to be manly and use my fingers. It was already partly open. And inside we have a spark plug. You know, you got to love these guys. I mean, can you imagine how much this stuff must have cost them to make? Here's your USB thumb drive. The ingenuity of the people who did these Mopar press kits is just amazing to me. You've also got a 75 years of Mopar booklet pointing you back to Mopar.com. It's got various facts, a lot of which will be wrong now. And one of the interesting things about Mopar under Fiat was, first, it was run, oh yeah, here's a little tag saying it contains product information and photography. So I guess that this was over the spark plug when I first got it. So I'll just put back over there. When Fiat took over Chrysler, they put a guy named Pietro Gorlier in charge of Mopar. And he was just an amazing guy. And the people who worked with him really, really liked him, as far as I can tell. I can tell you, I really liked him. An amazing guy, very upfront. I think he had great plans for Mopar. I really think he wanted to improve dealer service rather dramatically. And that's hard to do with the franchise system. Pietro was trying to increase customer service at the dealerships. He was trying to get weekend hours for people who work 9 to 5. He was trying to get late hours at least one day a week. And he pushed through the express lube thing. The express lane. I do remember what it's called. And he also took along an espresso maker everywhere he went that he bought from his personal income. I mean, he spent to buy this thing, and then he took it to every car show. So if you wanted espresso or cappuccino, you could get it from a commercial-grade espresso cappuccino maker. I really, really enjoyed the times that I got to interview the head of Mopar when that was Pietro Gorlier. I think he really immersed himself in the history and in what had been done well in the past, and he really tried to make it work. And while we're here talking about Mopars, as you know, the name Mopar has generally been assigned by people outside of Chrysler to mean all Chryslers. It's like Ford is called the Blue Oval, GM is called the General. By the way, there wasn't an actual General Motors, but there was an actual General Mills. This all comes down to the point of the Mopar Minivans book that covers all of the Mopar minivans from when they started working on them in 1972. Not at Ford, at Chrysler, despite the stories that you might have read. But Chrysler's pretty much had a vehicle that looked like this original minivan by the time that you hit the mid-70s. So I'm going to say, go out, find the book. It's on Amazon. There's an older copy on Apple Books that's very cheap. And if you want one from me, you can let me know and I'll see what I can do about that. I might even sign it if you ask. Stellantis North America media people, I really still appreciate what you did when I wasn't feeling well. And Pietro, I really appreciate the time that you gave so that I could relay what was going on inside of Chrysler to everybody else through Allpar. My new site is motels.com. I hope that you'll come by. Take care.